Just want to say good morning. And week has been um trying to and still be at the same time. My daughter Mara, these things that we call life, sometimes they get in the way of trying what I want to do. And one of the things I want to touch on today, conquering the fear of being a father, that in itself, it was a thing that I want to do. I want to fight some fears. And the thing is that this week has gone, I've gone through things in my head to dealing with a father. Things that I really wanted to touch on was, is again, how to conquer the fear of being a father. As I was going through, telling me that fear was all the way until about there, I was like, okay, hearing fear all day, all last couple of days. What does that look like? Saying fear, and until things start throwing out things, God made me creation that the first thing you conquer fear, that you realize that there is a fear, and what does it look like? Once you that there are fears, what does it just? It's almost math things where it's chaos. Fear itself, you just where you know where you're going your next step. But things is that God would direct you in that correct path. Father, always keep on praying, asking. And while I was doing this, one of the things God kept putting in my head, after he kept on the whole thing, what my topic was in Psalms 103, Father had passion, so Lord had passion unto him. And I said, God, what does that look like? I'm like, okay, what do you want me to get it? And the thing is that one of the words was compassion that jumped out at me. Compassion. What is that? What is that? What is I didn't know what definition was. So it's of other, and it's instead of kindness, others together with desire to lead. I said, okay, that doesn't being other. So now directed me and said, look at what compassion a father is. Is needed for him to take care of me. Let me give you an example of what that looks like. I came home from work, and tomorrow I had been didn't know what it was. She was just kind of moping around, and I was going to just tell her about me. But one thing that we constantly remember is talk about it when you're about to talk to children. And is it you want? All I had to do was just about her day, how her day was. Her day got bright. Really would have just said, "Hey, get over it," because when you got bright. So I want that, and I can go back to that because of that. I took 4 or 5 to ask God what to do because to make tomorrow feel like she wasn't worth anything. So it didn't know how to be a father. One of the I really so this role of father, I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know how it looked like, but I was determined to make sure what father that my father was. So then I didn't a little bit more worried. I didn't have to have a child. I had what my wife says about 4 seconds. 10 minutes. I said, okay, great, let's do it. So when I got thrust into it, I looked up every day how to be a father. I tried to read books, read it window. I tried to YouTube videos. The thing is that I'm trying my best to figure out what it was in father, and I realized I had to pray and seek the Lord. And it didn't. It was going to be that to my child and myself. That's the thing is that you're doing this day-to-day thing, and you're trying to be passionate to your children, figure out what your child needs. Ultimately did was I sat down and I studied my child. That's what we have to do. We look at our child and not only see how, but also recognize so that we can work on the father. What brings me to that fathers, you are child's first teacher. And remember that. You have to realize action that you and say they can't. And you don't think they'll trust me. They're looking. Well, multiple times where I've done something, I go over and I just said, look at me. And I'm just like, oh, that's fantastic. That is legit. And I have to correct whatever I'm sure that she doesn't pick up. Even that struggle in itself in here. Because you try and be perfect for that you don't give time to be welcome. You just keep on going and going and going. And the first year of being a father, I never stop to look at myself. I grow, teach my child. It was weird because that came to my job, and every time he came in, it seemed like he came in. I don't know, he would like look at me, and man, how you doing? How is it, father? give me a question. I don't have time to think about it. And so he said, and every time he would come with some variation of being a father. First it was, hey, how's it? Or, hey, being a father? Or, how's your job you're doing? Guys, that I think about things, all just the general act of being a father. One day I came home and I kept thinking about what it is to be a father that I had to first work myself. And now think about make sure my child is a product of society. In the Bible, when you see about what it is, you don't see it actually. There's no guideline, no rubric. What it does so in every part of the Bible, it says how to be a good father. And I think I have my slide. That's teaching. We can go with that one. Okay, let's put that one because then I'm gonna get it. So, being a good father, I realized when talking about that God doesn't rubric for this. Not in the Bible, he rubric of being a good father. What he does do, he gives certain points of the Bible of like. Actually, let me go back to that one. I'm going to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy, these words, man, you dead, and shall repeat them daily to your sons, speak to them when you sit, walk on the road, when you lie down and get up. You shall hide them and sign to your hand, and they shall write on your. You also write them of your house and on. Basically, what that's saying is you constantly have to teach your children. That is a job to teach our children. It's not a God point, and that's in the Bible that God has given us to lead us into the right direction. And as a father, I can tell you that for a fact, you have to keep repeating and repeating to your child over again, even if you've already told them 5 minutes. You got to keep on doing that because eventually they're going to get. You also have to treat them. In the fears of being a father, my child things to do because that was a way to do things. But just her from this point to this point, and that point is just be a good product of. Never stop to realize the journey that was between. And God teach me there's a process. And I have to stop teaching a child to be a person that's down to being into manners. Some person I'm like, what did you use manners? Oh, didn't teach. Yeah, got to do that. What it is, you learn the things that they do and their emotions. Also have to teach them how to control emotions. Not gonna be all over the place. Having a daughter in the time. Look at it and be like, okay, one of the times do I, hey, that's enough, and other side, one of the times that I have to console her, says she doesn't know okay to be upset, but afterwards, we'll teach them how to. Emotions are all erupt in us, and we have to teach that. Now, mind you, my child, she's 5, so I'm not a teacher that's older. But I want to talk to the father, go through as a father too. One of the big topics is providing. A lot of men think that, okay, if I pay the bills, if I can pay, I'm a good father. That's not what it is. A lot of times, being a provider also means just being your child. Because you also have to first realize, a father becomes that child. And if you don't do anything, you're just paying the bills. What's the point of being a father? I say to follow Facebook, YouTube, and even in here, all the time, being means paying the bills. That means I looked it up because I wanted to see what it's like to be a provider. Because all in my one around me told me, you build the bacon, as they call it. And it wasn't enough to what I was saying is that it's kind of the heart at the end. It's not what you put on the table. If you can't hold on to you have an issue or if you or that, there are other ways still to be father to your child. Important is just sit down and talk. Even if you have anything to say what they want to do. Figure out what their interests. Stop being in the seat of nothing and do something. Don't think we can do again. You bring it on the table, just do that. Be multifaceted. So next one I want to bring up is providing is great. Again, communication. And I know I brought it up. I think I really want to nail down that you got to talk. I'm going through it now. Every day, making points. And men don't get caught up in your head, not saying things. Next thing you know, a year has been in your head. You haven't done anything. Focus on trying to be a father. You try and so much. That's all you need is thinking. You don't into action, and that's what you really need to do. Start thinking. Is upside your head. Stop thinking all that and not do it. Do it as a father. And yeah, I don't know. You got just communicate. And I don't know who, but again, communicate, talk. Oh, no, even if it just nothing, you do something to help your child know that you are there as a father. I don't know if I have this next, but it's in do I have that up there? No, I wouldn't actually bring this one up, so just actually bring it. In hearing of it for me. If I don't get eventually, Jesus. Ephesians 4. Yep.
Father, do not to anger, ask them to examine men for unreasonable or use of showing favoritism or interest, but tenderly loving kindness of the Lord.
Ephesians, one child. And I do mean to say this, that is not something to do. You know how and to do it. When I was, again, being thrust into being, what fear was I, again, kept on yelling that wasn't me. That wasn't my daughter. I had to be compassionate and disciplined, showing them what this looked like. But in thinking, I actually took a different approach. Smart with her and talked to her about what was wrong. Then we basically walked it out. Whatever they did, we would talk about it. And she understood that it was wrong. Instead of just me blatantly just a tyrant. Basically what I was for a year and a half. And God molded me into, and yelling wasn't, and I'm to a lot of young fathers here because I am myself. We go because we are trying for the day talk about what it looks like. Even if you didn't have the discipline of our children, it's not to discipline tomorrow. But I have, because if not, she's going to be a little tyrant herself. But also, it even says in this verse, don't provoke. Don't try and don't, and you know, y'all rebelling keeps us up at night a lot of times. So I'm gonna have to be down here and try. No, I'm not gonna do that. But please listen to your parents because you want to put the real quick? Oh, if you didn't, back of it. If you didn't know, I'm the media guy. We have somebody. Hopefully that we're all talking. So when you guys do something wrong or listen to us at night, me and my wife, we stay up things even as a single parent, you sit down and you mull over, wait better, see something in your child that even doing it, you're like, what do I do? And I'm gonna say it again, go God. As a parent, up at night, we try and figure out what's better for you, something really talk to God, turn our children into something that we don't want them to be. We're not following God. We're within our best, what is in our best interest. Sometimes our fears get in the way of what God wants. Sometimes you might have this because God knows that child anticipates a person to go into the direction. Sometimes that's just that. Disciplining is probably one of the hardest that I had. So she upset up, so I want to try and fix it. In my own self, I want to try and fix it because I got from happening. As a father, it's like, how do I from her stop crying to be happy? And she doesn't need to be happy. And I really thought swoops in and be like, oh, I'm the one that helps her be happy. And then God had to give me a check to make sure that this child tyrant at the end of the day. Yes. So at the end of all of it, everything told me at the end, at the end of the day, I'm going to show you how to become a father, a good mother. Lean on him. Lean on him. That's all I got. So, thank you guys.
I'm sure, but I'm not that sure. Matthew's first speaking, right? So thank you guys for giving. It last okay. Does not mean down. And if you don't know how to be a father, all right? Do not beat your children down. Don't beat them down. Build them up. The biblical principle called speaking life. Fathers out there that do beat your children down, stop it. Stop it. Speak to them. If you don't know how, then go to Jesus. Work on what's going on that you feel making your children feel small. Okay? I was sitting there, I was to me about, so I just want to put out some.